guarantee that it bless the people who are represented. Go with this guidance, yes.
Accepting the minutes of the last board meeting, you all have them.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
I asked our superintendent to come. I told him I'd get him on there first. And, I've got to read the resolution here, and this resolution is for the Corps of Engineers for the water and sewer to the new school site. I'll just read it.
If I may for just a second, the superintendent is here so that we can have assurances that they will pay a certain portion of a tap fee so that the county's portion so that we can have funds. His attorney has been very busy this week, and we are in negotiations for them to do an agreement with the county for some of the funds that are required. And because that agreement is not yet typed up and written, though we are in agreement in spirit and in everything, but we have not signed it. So, I'd like this board approval for you to sign that agreement with the Board of Education and Mr. Mayor, along with the resolution.
Okay, give me a few minutes to read this, Larry, and I'll be right with you. A resolution authorizing the participation and ratifying prior participation of the Martin County Fiscal Court, Martin County, Kentucky, with the Department of the Army, Corps of Engineers, for design and construction of Holly Bush, Kentucky 645 Water and Sewer Extension Project. Authorizing the Martin County Judge Executive and other county officials to act for and on behalf of Martin County in executing, accepting, or otherwise approving all documents, agreements, instruments, or other necessary papers required by the Department of Army to implement said participation in this project. Be it resolved that the Martin County Fiscal Court, Section 1, Martin County Fiscal Court authorizes its county judge executive by and through his authorized officer and officials to participate with the Department of the Army, Corps of Engineers in design and construction of the Holly Bush, Kentucky 645 Water Sewer Project in Eastern Kentucky Environmental Registration Infrastructure and Resource Protection and Development Program authorized by Section 531 of Water Resource Development Act of 1996, which project is located in Martin County. Section 2, Martin County Judge Executive and other appropriate county officials, including the county attorney, are authorized to execute on behalf of Martin County all documents necessary to implement participation by the Martin County Fiscal Court in design and construction of an environmental restoration infrastructure and resource protection project, being designed and installation of water and sanitary sewer service to unserved area of Holly Bush Industrial Development Area located to the west of Kentucky 645, to the south, to the north of Kentucky 40 in the Holly Bush area of Martin County, in conjunction with the Department of Army, Corps of Engineers, including but not limited to project partnership agreement between the Department of Army and the Martin County Fiscal Court for the design and construction of Holly Bush 645 sewer extension. That provides, among other things, that the county shall, A, provide without cost to the United States government all lands, easements, right-of-ways, including suitable, borrowed, or dredged material disposal areas, all modifications, relocations, and alterations of structures, including but not limited to building facilities, including relocation of on-site underground utilities, roads, bridges, sewer, water supply facilities, and repair or replacement of all intakes, drains, and afternoon facilities necessary for the construction, operation, and maintenance of the project. B, hold and save the United States government free from damage due to construction, operation, and maintenance of the project, exclusive of damages due to fault or negligence of the United States government or its contractor. C, operate, maintain, replace, rehabilitate the project upon completion and as constructed in accordance with regulation or direction by the Secretary of the Army and all without cost to the United States government. Pay is percentage share of the total project cost as required by the Water Resource Development Act of 1986 and by the Project Partnership Agreement. Keep that paragraph in mind. Prevent obstruction or encroachment on the project that reduce the level of protection it affords or that would hinder operation and maintenance thereof. F. Comply with precision of the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policy Act of 1970, Public Law 91-646, approved the second day of January in 1971. Section 221, Public Law 91-611, approved December the 31st, 1970, as amended. Section 3, the Martin County Fiscal Court hereby approves and ratifies all prior participation acts of the county and by through its officials with the Department of the Army, Corps of Engineers in relationship to said project. Section 4, the Martin County Judge Executive, the Martin County Fiscal Court, and other appropriate county officials are hereby authorized to purchase or otherwise acquire from private property owners in the name of the Martin County Fiscal Court in accordance with said agreement and any and all interest in real property necessary for construction, operation, and the maintenance of the property, duly passed in accordance with the law of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, this day, July, the day of 27th, 28th day of July 2016. Motion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Now let me go back to a couple paragraphs. The one in particular, this was a 75% government, 25% local match. The 25% is what she referred to that the school board is paying, and it's going to be, was it 375?
Yeah, 370, well, a little bit over 375,
375,000 change. They're going to forward that over to us to be able, this is a pay forward situation. In other words, we send in, we pay invoice and send in when we pay them, then within 30 days they pay us back or they pay us interest. And they generally pass in about 2 weeks. His 375 will afford this project to move on and move on at a pretty fast pace. They want this, this is the first step in this, Larry, and they want everything in place by September. So they can take this now with some preliminary work from the engineers to get our contract together. And sometime probably, I would think they would want to see the 375 in place before they sign a contract with us. That should be somewhere in the middle of September.
Well, I can speak on behalf of the board, we'll be glad to do it, there'll be no problem at all.
All right, and let you understand, the people in the audience, this grant can only be written through the fiscal court, could be done through the water company, could be done through the school board, has to be done for us. This is basically a pass-through situation for us. This is the only way that we could have got water and sewer at a very small cost to the school board.
And this is also pending their meeting on Monday night. They're going to have all the necessary paperwork. So what you've approved, conditioned upon that we are very confident and very excited about going forward and moving forward.
And also, if you want a motion that I can sign the consent agreement?
Yes, please, whenever I believe the agreement, you will have it on Tuesday perhaps?
I hope so, our board attorney's supposed to be working on it.
I understand.
Okay, motion to have me sign the agreement?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sheriff quarterly report, thanks Larry.
Thank you.
Sheriff quarterly report, Linda. Does this don't require any action,
No,
just that we accepted it?
yeah.
No, let the record reflect that the sheriff turned his quarterly report in a timely fashion. Water Board needs an appointment. I want to recommend John Horn for the appointment. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Open bids on surplus property. Looks like we have one. Hillis, are you here?
Yes.
Ah, there you are. Got one bid.
What's this for?
That's a piece of property over in,
Maple Street.
Oh, yeah.
and Hillis, do you remember what the minimum was?
16.
1650? I bid $2,650. Why did you do that?
I don't think I did.
No, it's a bid for $1,650, and that's the minimum that we could take. A motion to accept her bid.
I make that motion.
Got a second? All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Lynette, we'll fix up the deed next week, week after next, probably.
Okay,
Because I'm gonna be gone.
that's fine.
You'll fix it up week after next, and you can come pick up your deed, just bring us a check.
Okay, just give you a call?
Yeah.
Okay,
Or give her a call.
okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Fee pooling ordinance, I think it's come time that we need to let the sheriff have his fees back. We enacted this ordinance, June the 28th, 2007. It takes the ordinance to do away with it in accordance with Martin County Fiscal Court repealing the fee pooling ordinance of June the 28th, 2011. Whereas the fee pooling ordinance between Martin County Fiscal Court and Martin County Sheriff's Office, which is passed on June 28, 2000, recorded in the record for Martin County Fiscal Court Order Book 26, page 197, Fiscal Court Order Book 26, page 221, is hereby repealed. This order shall take effect full force in the passage, publication, and recording. The first reading was on today. It's 7/28. And the second reading, our court meeting is in the middle of the prosecutors conference and the local issues conference. So we're going to have that meeting on the 18th of August. Motion.
I'd like to sit down with you guys and discuss this before you vote to do this, because basically this could put me in a really, really bad situation. I think we ought to discuss what the options are first.
Well, at this time, this is only the first reading, take second reading. We can meet in between, but this constitutes no cut at all.
Okay.
This is, you know, you've got enough girls down there to take care of everything. Actually, got more girls than we do to take care of everything. They do a great job. And, but any time between now and the 18th of August, we'll sit down and go from there.
Okay.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Next thing you see, hiring 2 part-time folks. Charles Green, who takes care of the, for John, the community service, hire him on a part-time basis, and Travis Johnson as a part-time both on parks.
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Yes, sir.
Financials, do we have, John, did you want to address the court?
Judge, I think that I talked with Donna about the bills that we kind of had a misunderstanding last month. The bills that were turned in, and then you didn't have the minutes in the proper fashion. And so you had those bills. we can get those bills paid, and that probably will straighten out a lot of the problems that we have.
You know, we have procedures in place
I
that you folks are supposed to follow.
Yes.
And Mr. York, you continue to put stuff on Facebook that it's our fault your electric cut. But in fact, it was your fault.
How was that my fault?
You didn't turn the bill in until after the court meeting.
Okay, originally we were told that we could turn our bill in the night of the meeting. So then they tell us we had to have them at least a week
You turned
ahead.
it in after the court meeting.
We were told you had to have them a week ahead. Okay, so what we did was we rescheduled our board meetings to match, so they were a week ahead of the fiscal court meetings so that we could do that. So we turned those minutes in. Then they tell us, okay, first they said, don't worry about having them signed, just turn the minutes in.
Who told you?
I believe it was Donna, if I'm not mistaken. It was
Never said that.
somebody told us that they didn't have to have them signed at first.
Well, we have.
So then
procedures
we
that
were told they had to be signed, so that, but now this month, we had no bills, and the only time I put anything on Facebook was today.
Right.
So it's not a continuation.
It was your fault the electric's cut off.
No, I
Yeah.
paid, we submitted the bill a month ago.
We ain't had a court meeting since then, Don.
Right, the bill was submitted since then.
That's okay. The problem was, it wasn't the bills, it was that we hadn't submitted the minutes. Donna gave me the minutes. I thought he gave everyone a copy of the minutes.
They had not submitted the bills. We didn't have the bills.
Oh, you didn't have bills
The
either?
bills did not come in until after the court meeting.
Okay.
This
Right,
first
the-
court meeting.
Anyway, I had another meeting after that to address these issues.
As long
on
as
the
you
board.
got it,
And
in
we,
the procedure,
yeah.
Lynette, did you not set procedures for this to happen?
I don't know about the ordinance or anything of that nature, I just know about, what we were told to do. Because I came, I think I probably talked to you or, and Donna, on trying, and then we had a special board meeting on this, and to address these particular issues. So hopefully, we hope we'll have it straightened out. We had no bills to turn in this month because one of the bills that was submitted and was going to be paid this month will probably be paid, was the post office box. The post office box is also closed. That bill for $86, we not to pay that one now because we've already paid for the post office box. We had it paid. But any bill that we had that was in the post office box, once it's closed, was returned to sender, so we'll have to wait till we get it. We had something coming in or something like that, I think you told me last month that you could call a special court meeting or where we could address the bills.
We're here to help you guys. But when Mr. York gets on his page and says it's our fault, and when it is turned your fault.
But I submitted the bills.
I think this court deserves an apology.
Well, I submitted the bill a month ago. Almost,
We had a court meeting, you turned it in the day after our court meeting.
you're right.
We don't
So,
have a court meeting for 30 more days.
okay,
I mean,
I apologize.
okay, appreciate it.
Well, I've got this suit up there, as long as I've been here, this court has never, ever refused to pay a bill for the fire department, as I can remember, if it has been presented to the court. We have never failed to pay for it. Unless it was in a case like Lynette said, that we could because it was under litigation. Other than that, we have paid every time that we're behind these,
Well,
somehow, people who.
You know, I mean, I'm not, I don't run through the thing about accusing anybody and as far as going through whatever has been done or hasn't been done, I don't know. This is probably the second time I've been in front of, came to court. And I just want to just try to do this for the court part.
Work better, everybody got to be wrong.
That's the way that I feel, I mean,
So-
usually if I have something to say to you, I say it to you.
Right.
So this packet here is what we need to pay?
Less the post office bill.
Well, that's supposed to.
Yeah, the post office thing, you can't pay, what we already paid for 6 months, it'll come due again in 6 months. The post office will not accept, even if you pay the check for $86, the post office will not accept, they just send the check back to you, so there's no point and write that check out for $86.
Okay, so in this packet is the bills you need to
That,
pay now,
in the packet was the bills that we had, that was submitted last
and that
month.
we've already paid.
No, they haven't been paid
That
yet.
we paid.
There's the bills that they
They're
submitted
gonna be-
last month is in this financial report
Okay, yeah.
for this meeting.
Okay.
That can be approved.
Okay.
All right, motion to pay Warfield Fire Department expense package.
Motion.
All in favor?
Second.
One
Thank
other
you.
thing that I would like to, that's in the minutes of our meeting and stuff, is that what we would like to do is just take like, maybe a couple $1,000 and put it into our, move it to our general fund before we pay the smaller bills, like the electric bill if it comes due, or the post office, just some of the small stuff where we can do that.
I think that'd be up to our county attorney.
We've got it, it's my understanding that you can send that those bills can just come to us. I mean, you can put it in your minutes and bring it to us whenever you get, the month before the meeting's due at the end of the month. You do that, 'cause those will go through naturally. But I think the point of...
How is it that they would go to without?
No, I'm saying you get it to us before we have our next meeting. Our next meeting will be August 18th, so if you got it to us like the 11th, for your next meeting, and say, here's our fire, here's our gas bill, our electric bill, water, sewage, whatnot, do that. I mean, it's the point of having the trustee kind of accounts, so that everything will be accounted for.
Okay. Also, the one payment that we were talking about, that was for the $250 a month, that you need, you said you would, even make a motion to, pay the 3 of the payments
Is
on.
that in here?
I think that it was.
Is that in there?
There's one.
I think it is.
It's in there.
So it's in this package?
Yes.
It was authorized at the board meeting, so it should be in there.
Except you, when you talk about the staff, you're going to call something.
Yeah, this is so we can keep the trucks that we have.
The $249.
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, it's in this packet. Okay.
So we had no problem with that?
So that was, you already made that motion?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
already
yeah,
moved
motion.
up.
Yeah, make a motion.
Okay.
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 All right, that's all I have.
All right.
Kelly?
Motion to pay the claims plus pay governmental center expenses.
Hey, Kelly?
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Motion for the cash transfer list and appropriation transfer list.
Motion. Second.
You notice I skipped 9 and 10. I thought we had an executive session, but we don't. Camera system will be talked about later on. And anything else to come full court?
I have one thing, Judge. Is there any way possible we could do for the fire department, like standing orders, kind of like we do for our bills here? If we can just do that maybe for their electric bill and the water bill, that sort of thing. So
I
as
think
those
we
come
could
in,
probably do that.
they can bring them on in and then they can go ahead and
Could we not do that, the standing orders that the state allows us to have, and standing orders for them?
That's the type of thing that they will do, utilities, basically.
just for the utilities, that sort of thing, that way as the bills come in, they can just bring them on over to you and they make sure that.
With your agreement, sure.
And why don't they do that in one of your meetings, request a standing order for your utilities,
Okay.
include what those will be.
So what you
So
need to
that Donna
do-
can always reference back, oh, here's the water, here's the electric.
Donna can give you a copy of our standing orders, what the state allows us to pay without court meeting.
Okay.
And then if you all fall in, like gasoline, electric, water, sewer.
So do we need that in the
For
motion?
a standing order, the court is only allowed to cover payroll and utilities. Anything else has to go to Frankfurt for approval.
That's all I'm talking about, it's just utilities, like the
Utilities
electric or
only.
water, that sort of thing, so that can be taken care of without having to come through court every time.
So you all will do that, take it up in the next meeting,
Yeah.
bring it in here, and then this
Can
court
we
will
make a
approve.
motion
Okay.
to approve that based upon their,
Wait till they bring us,
Wait till they bring it.
they'll bring us the minutes.
One other thing, Kelly, have
And
you
we
talked
do it on
to
the
Paul
18th,
Graver
yes.
about the, a possible buyout on the current equipment that we've got?
I was advised by council not to have any conversation with him, so I just.
No problem.
I just don't take the calls.
No problem.
You all probably didn't be either.
Well, we have
No, we're not supposed
it.
to.
We have it, no.
so can you all have that?
What it was is we had authorized in our meeting to have you,
Yes.
you were talking about, maybe talking to them about a buyout, and we suggested maybe $10,000.
For, the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Right, correct.
I filed a lawsuit. I filed the lawsuit with Chris Harris representing us, and at that time,
Have they answered that lawsuit, John?
I talked to Chris today, and he said it is moving forward. He said
So have they submitted an answer, or do you know?
Paul Graver is going to represent himself. And,
That's good.
you know, and then see, we also included the salvage company in it.
Come pick them up.
One that come pick them up, absolutely. They had a state trooper call and tell us that they had the proper paperwork and that we get no recourse but to give them the truck. So they fraudulently picked those trucks up.
So the trooper give you,
Actually, it's the trooper that's doing the investigation is the one that called.
well,
Yeah, that's another line.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that is, isn't it? They were good friends with the salvage company.
Really? And he had an order in his hand, he said?
He said that they had showed him the proper paperwork. And he instructed Doug to turn the vehicles over. Doug said, well, I need to, said they're on their way now, and he said, well, I need to see if I can get hold of Keenest or some other attorney and put a stop to it. He said, there's nothing that you can do. That was what we was told at the time.
So do you know the status of the trucks? Doug told me he had the title, so they have.
We do have the titles. The titles are clear. There was never a lien put against the titles. About a week or so after the trucks were repossessed, then they would try to put a lien on them.
So, I know how lawsuits go. You feel pretty good at one point, then you feel pretty bad at another point, so really, good for me.
Well, it's kind of, I'm always at a bad point. You know, I don't want to take anyone to court. I don't want to do anything to that nature. Sometimes somebody has to step up and do something. You know, when they asked me to be on the board of the fire department, that's what I have to do. I have to represent the fire department. It makes you go places sometimes you don't want to.
John, did you have anything about weed cutting that you need to talk
I
about?
done took care of my weeds. I'm gonna get, Mac is gonna cut my weeds. I've been waiting for 6 weeks for being paid, and it did show up. And I'm tired of waiting on it.
Okay.
I'll blame you, I'm probably waiting too.
Well, you can have Mackie after he gets done with it.
Virginia, step forward and tell us something. Good.
I'm not sure where to stand.
Stand right up here with us.
I'll just stand right here. My name is Regina Triplett, and I am the East Kentucky representative, field representative for U.S. Senator Rand Paul. And the senator was actually in East Kentucky the last couple of days. We didn't get to Martin County, but he's coming back in October and hope to get to Martin County. I'll make sure everybody's aware of where we'll be and what we'll be doing, and hopefully you all can come out then. Senator Paul is a junior senator. He does represent the entire state, and he is currently working primarily in what would affect our area. Is he has signed off on a lawsuit filed against the administration for illegally writing and passing regulations which have basically put our coal miners out of business. So he has done that. He also co-sponsored a drug bill called CARA, which will hopefully reduce the addiction that we see in our area, not just in Martin County, but in every single county I go in. It is a problem of pandemic proportions, and it's just gotten so out of control. So what we're doing is, number one, the federal government is going to offer more support to inpatient treatment programs for addicts, and hopefully we'll be building some new ones as well. And then also that they are allowing physicians to see more addicts. I don't know if everybody knew, but the law was actually that a doctor could only see 30 patients with addiction problems per year. Now that was a law, that was a federal law, to treat that person with either Suboxone or other medical treatment to help them get over opioids or get past opioids or get clean from heroin. Now that they have increased that, the law that our senator proposed and has now been signed into law, it was last week signed into law, will allow family doctors. I'm not talking about methadone clinics, I'm not talking about these physicians that charge you $500 to come in and get a Suboxone. I'm talking about your family doctor. Will now allow family doctors to see 100 addiction patients now, as opposed to 30, so that your family doctor, their family doctor, can help them get clean. So we think that's a really good step in the way of trying to help people get past the addiction that we're seeing so much of. I am available 24/7 to all constituents from Johnson County down to Bell County out to Clay County. That's our area. And I am happy to talk with you about any federal issue that you might have or any issue that has a federal part or component. We deal with veterans issues, well, anything federal. But the senator, since I've been on board, almost 7 months now, he has, for me, at my request, for a constituent in our area, has worked on Social Security issues, veterans issues, FEMA issues, IRS issues. If it's federal, we can help you. So, and if I can't help you, if we can't help you, I will tell you that, and there will be a reason. But if we can help you, we will. I have an email that you can reach me and a telephone number. So if anyone would like a business card with that information on it, I'd be more than happy to give it to you. Thank you.
You got them with you?
I do.
I want one.
All right.
So you may be able to, when he comes in October, to set up something here,
Okay.
and he could have maybe like a little town hall or something.
We'd
I
love-
used to go out and do
We'd
that.
love to do that, yeah, and I'm sure he'd like to see your new courthouse and.
I'd like to know what he's gonna say about this illegals coming over here, and off the bat, they get Social Security, then these people at Wichita, the last time, it takes them 5 years fighting the system to get theirs.
Mhm.
That is so long.
Well, Senator Paul's pretty conservative fella.
Yeah, I know
I
that.
think he probably feels the same way as you do about that.
But we need to get more people like him on board so we can do something about that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's my opinion. Take these people, they work their life, you thought they get 100% medical. People work 45 years, it's 80-20.
Right.
That's a bunch of crop too, not good.
Well, he has actually gone on the record, not as broadly as that, but to say that illegal immigrants should not be eligible for any Social Security benefits, and certainly not disability benefits.
I wish you'd write that book, John, that'd be a bestseller, right?
I've got a whole lot of stuff.
I know. Motion to adjourn.
No.
Second.
One more thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm getting a lot of calls on far fee, on that, where the people didn't get opt out on it. I think we're gonna be more fair with the people, give them more time.
We're working on that.
I think they should be able, if they don't want to do it, they come in anytime.
Well, when I say for this year, give them, say 15th September, then later or something.
Let's talk about that because that was something that we need to address.
Okay.
So the opt-out provision from last year was, I believe, April to May or May to June.
Well, a lot of people thought it was the 30th of June, And then they came to me and said, I was supposed to, they went like the 25th, and they couldn't opt out, it was too late, they said 15th.
So
So
what,
everything was back mixed up on it, and a lot of them didn't get to opt out. I think if they're collecting enough fire fee to handle the fire department, we'll be fair with the people that want to opt
Let me
out.
ask you this.
Well, I think if they opt out once, they should be opt out forever unless they come in and want to get back on board. Once
Well,
they opt out, they shouldn't have to come in here every year and opt out.
we're gonna try to change it, guys. Bobby can't do this right now the way it's currently written. But we're gonna try to amend it to say, we amended the 911 fee so he can take it off all the vacant property. But he can't the fire fee because of the way it's written. We're wanting to take it off for those properties, it's hillside. But the cheapest situation would be if the fire department do their legwork, take that fee off and put a small tax on it. That would be more fair to the taxpayers. Be a lot cheaper.
Be a lot cheaper for most of it.
Huh?
Be a lot cheaper for most
But
of it.
there's a lot of legwork the fire departments have to do to get that done. Like hundreds of signatures.
I just have to tell people, and I told them I'll do what I can, I myself think it should be corrected. So,
We'll hopefully take that up on the 18th.
well, can we just talk about it just a smidge so I can know what we're working with? So do we want to,
Hey, Mike, come up here and help us.
so.
You're the one that had to deal with them.
So, I spoke with Bobby, the 911 fee, as I understand it, he has got his system coded now so that it is a piece of property with a structure. It will generate a 911, there will be the fee on that. We can do that for the fire also. So, one option is if there's a structure on it, it would generate the fee. And then, if that's one way to address it, or you could do the opt-out, the legwork.
well, we had to like opt out even with that structure, so they might be on, the far,
That's correct.
so they could opt out.
What was your biggest issue, Mike?
Biggest issue was that the board you all set up, which consisted of me and Janetta and Teresa, we didn't have the authority to take the fire fee off the vacant property. That was people's big, everybody we had a fight with was over that. So that board, if there's an issue that comes up and they can come in, that board needs the authority
To do what they think
to
is
take that off.
Do we want to even generate, so if there's no structure on a piece of property?
I think
we put it
that needs to be the case, but now you'll run into situations where that a person has a piece of property, their daughter has a trailer on it, and both of them have got fire fees on that one situation there. And we didn't have the authority to take it off of either one of them. So they basically was paying double fire fees on a trailer and a lot because they were in two different names.
So if we just generate the bill, generate the fee on structures only, that would eliminate a lot of that.
It needs to be on structures only, vacant property needs to be eliminated. That, and the board did, but in case that it's something showed, see, Bobby may not be able to take it off this year, so you're gonna have to give,
I talked with him.
oh, you talk with him?
He can, I don't know how long it will take the bills to be generated. Ideally, the plan was to be able to opt out before the bills are generated, so that it helps John Herman, who also had a huge problem starting it out. So if you take it off before the bill is passed out, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And it's been a nightmare for his office, because they go there first, and then they come back to you.
Right. The simplest thing is to just take it off the vacant property and then give that board the authority to deal with those.
So the
Other
911 is
situations.
already off, right?
The 911 is already off the vacant property.
Vacant property.
Yeah.
But then, so what you're saying is take it off of the vacant property. But if they've got a house on it and they want to opt out, they still can come to you all and opt out.
If that's what you all want to do, is
You
not
have to
set
have
it.
an opt-out for fire. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Now, when they opt out, do they have to do that every year?
we can address
No,
that.
you can change it to where they do it one time, if that's
Well, that's what I think we should do. Once they opt out, we just leave them opt out. Then if they want to come in and start paying, they can come back in and say, well, I want back in.
But let me ask you this, if they opt out one time and Bobby takes it off of theirs, then it would come off every year, it wouldn't show up
See,
on
we
the.
probably need to talk about that with Bobby. I think it would be simpler for the sheriff's office if it's not on there
On the
to
tax
begin
bill.
with. But I don't know what kind of paperwork he would require, or Susie. I think Susie's office is the one who generates the bills. I think, because that's who the opt-outs were turned into.
Yeah, they send it in to the state to have them printed.
Okay.
But the simplest,
What I'm saying is, for this year though, even if it don't go to the last September, they need to give them a month or something, put it in the paper, that they got that long to come in and opt out.
I can fix that. We just need to decide what it is.
Well,
So
they
you
probably
all want
don't.
the
I'm gonna
one-time
tell you
opt-out.
my opinion, if you don't give that board the authority to let them opt out when they come in and pay their fire fee, or come in and pay their taxes, if they want them out, they're still mad because.
Well, that's fine, well, you can have authority, but some of them, before you come in.
We just amend the ordinance to include that.
Because what will happen is you'll have 60% of the people that want out say, I didn't know there was a bill.
It's in the paper, bro.
And you should have the authority to say, okay, fine, I'm gonna let you opt out.
And if it comes off vacant property, it won't be that many.
That's good.
The vacant property was the big issue.
I don't want to stop moving vacant, but that's, you talking about houses.
well, you know, in effect, you can call it a fee, but it's actually a tax.
Yeah.
The simplest way to do it is the fire department, Warfield, and Inez Fire Department, try to do the legwork, get the petition, get the signature. Then present that to the fiscal court. That would, for a fire district, all this problem be eliminated. And the people that are exempt from paying taxes, they wouldn't even pay nothing.
Exactly right.
Biggest problem's gonna be getting 3 votes. That is set to $10,000 or $15,000 would pay $3 or $4 versus 15. And that way, you know, when we had all these meetings here, and the courtroom was full, the people really didn't understand what was happening because they let, well, it wasn't they, I guess the direction of this court, led this court in to letting the big-time taxpayers off the hook. They let the Pocahontas, the Martin County Codes, because they pay 80% of their taxes. That exempted them folks from paying a big majority that what, if it had been a tax, they would pay 80% of it. But
And the people who are on Social Security and disability who don't have property tax or who fall under the exemption, the homestead exemption, see, now they have to pay that. If we had done a tax, those people wouldn't have to pay.
that's exactly right.
So, you know.
But, you know, it's, you know,
The tax would have been much cheaper.
Yes.
On
For
every,
the vast majority of the people.
you know, when you sit here and you know what's best for the common fella, and then when you have a lynching mob in here that basically let the big taxpayer, Pocahontas, would have paid tremendous, you know, and when that guy come in Pocahontas, how many properties did he have?
It was a bunch.
Yeah, I counted them, there's
I mean,
a lot.
they said, heck, we only have to pay on 3 of them, we just pay that 3. They paid $45, and when they had to pay, if it's been a tax, they would pay, and these properties wasn't even the properties that the ones they have under lease, the leaseholders have to pay that. I mean, it's pretty, you know, but we are where we are, and we'll address this next.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.